Blessings often come in disguise. Despite numerous negative consequences of the Ukraine-Russia crisis, we can find some positive aspects as well. And the wheel has been removed. In spite of so much disagreement in the internal politics of Brits and Americans about the Iraq war, both countries are united when it comes to their stand against India. Hi and welcome to TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Apurva, and if you haven't subscribed to the TFI English channel yet, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates. Coming back to the story, in this video I'm here to tell you why Boris Johnson is suddenly invoking Khalistan amid a lingering trade deal with India. So let's begin. TFI has once asked the WTO to show some humility whenever it begs anything from India. WTO is humble now, and its recent actions of acceding to India's demands are evidence of it. But the message does not seem to have been passed on to Boris Johnson. In spite of his juniors negotiating FTA with India, the man is busy showcasing sympathy for Khalistan. According to a report by The Guardian, Boris Johnson has dared to intervene in the judicial process of India. He has come forward in support of Jagtar Singh Johal, Khalistani arrested for his alleged involvement in the murders of Brigadier retired Jagdish Gajneja, RSS leader Ravinder Gosai and Pastor Sultan Masih. Johnson is so much convinced about his opinion that he has involved opposition leader Keir Starmer for bipartisan support. In his letter to Starmer, Johnson said that Jagtar has been illegitimately held up in jail. The letter also states that the issue has been raised during various diplomatic engagements between both the countries. Johnson also claimed that he himself raised the issue directly with PM Modi. Accordingly, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar was also apprised about it by Liz Truss, Foreign Secretary. The development comes off as nothing less than shocking. Jagtar was arrested in November 2017 and there was no official mumbling by the Britishers till now. The sudden development begs the question about the timing. Well, the answer lies in the complex geopolitical game which we are going to disentangle now. Ever since the Ukraine-Russia crisis kicked off, Western powers have galvanized against the Putin-led country. The reasoning being that only if they lead a coordinated effort against it, they can choke Russia on multiple fronts, including military, economic, and finally strategic. However, India has refused to join the bandwagon. Overtly, India has not spoken in favor of Russia, but at the same time, it has refused to side with moral posturing of Western nations as well. As soon as air around India continuing on its bond with Russia cleared, Western countries started to pressurize India. The very fact that Russia is emerging as the top oil supplier for India, undermining the interest of the unholy nexus of the USA and the OPEC, is sending shivers down the spine of leaders of these nations. After their failed attempts towards asking India to succumb to their demands, these countries have started a coordinated diplomatic offense on India. As usual, the USA took charge with its unsolicited opinion about religious freedom in India. The Democratic Party tried to invoke minority is suppressed in India card. However, it got a befitting thrashing from India, and in fact, India then proceeded to question the applicability of the same principles in the internal polity of USA. This was the second major blow to the West in general and the USA in particular, since India abstained from voting on any kind of resolution against Russia. Only when they got tired of their usual tactics, these countries decided to invoke Jagtar. Before the meeting of G7 UN panel on arbitrary detention lectured India on Jagtar Singh Johal. It was a subtle tactic to browbeat India at G7. But PM Modi stayed firm and India refused to even contribute to joint statement of G7 condemning Russia. It further irked these powers, and now they are trying to get India through invoking Jagtar. Johnson's statement was on expected lines, but we did not expect that Johnson will be willing to undermine his country's interest for a Khalistani. India and Britain are currently negotiating a free trade agreement. Apparently, if India decides to rescind the negotiations, the economic interest of the Brits will get compromised. Surely, after withdrawal from EU, Britishers would not want to suffer another setback.